Yo, what is up, guys? Cool 412 the Fox here. Now, anyways, before we get to the review today, all I want to say is Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. And man, I gotta admit, 2025 I think was a great year for 412 Films Productions, and more importantly, for my good friends Beelzebub Sandblazer 2376, including the Withered Ender Dragon 2. And man, if you guys have not seen their amazing content on their channels for over the past months now, leading into the new year for 2026, I highly recommend you go check out their channels, because you guys do not want to miss amazing more content like they've been creating for the past months now, and for nearly the past year, because I believe their channels are the best place to be at. Now anyways, this is the final video for 2025, and for the horror movie we are reviewing, and man, this one's a childhood classic, and all I can say is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. And man, for over the past months now, after reviewing all of the great Halloween movies I remember growing up watching, including A Nightmare on Elm Street to Friday the 13th, and man, they're all great films, and I gotta admit, this is one way to end off 2025 with a bang. And before we start this horror movie review, only thing I want to say is from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for your amazing support this year. This has really been one wild ride I don't think I'll ever forget, along with everyone else here at 412 Films Productions. Now then, let's start our horror movie review to end off 2025 with Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. The movie begins by taking us through a legendary title card, and yet throughout the title card opening of the critics, we see someone carving a jack-o'-lantern in the middle of Halloween night, and it shows us clips of what happened from the previous film that we revealed of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And yet I had to apologize from the last review on Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Jamie's sister-in-law is actually Rachel. And yet Rachel did the exact same thing of what happened from the fourth film leading into the ending. And once again, the cops made sure Michael Myers was taken out for good, but however, he survived. Now, from what I found out throughout this film, trying to remain impartial here, not to disrespect or anyone that's a fan of this film, the only thing I found out was basically there were real-life stunts in this film that were extremely dangerous for the actor playing Michael Myers, including the young actress playing Jamie Lloyd in this film, and I do not want to get into that until later on in this review. Now then, it shows that Michael Myers survived an explosion in a minefield trying to escape the cops, but when he survived on foot into the waters, he somehow made it through. But then we cut to a homeless guy and his pet parrot, which kind of looks like a sailor, but I was like, what the heck, is this a pirate or a homeless guy? I had no idea when watching this. Anyways, when he opened the door, he was trying to find out who was on his property at this time at night on Halloween. But then Michael tried to take him out, but he was out cold. But it turned out the homeless guy nursed Michael Myers back to health. Then we cut to a year later, where Jamie Lloyd was at the clinic for a younger youth, which was kind of like in the same position as her uncle. But she was having her panic attacks, and for some odd reason was unable to talk. And I felt bad for the poor girl after what she had to go through from the fourth film, as we saw in the film showing us what happened from the previous film. But yet, that was where Jamie Lloyd was trying to speak, but she couldn't after what happened in the fourth film. But then we see glimpses of her moving her hands while Michael's moving his. I was like, as a kid, I remember this moment. I was like, So what, she controls Michael Myers? Or something? But in my mind, realizing it now, she wasn't controlling him. She was trying to... She was feeling what he was feeling, it looked like. But then Michael took out the homeless guy. But that was where Jamie Lloyd was freaking out. And they were trying to make sure she was okay, but then Dr. Loomis walked in, played it once again by the late great Donald Pleasance. And I think has nailed the role of Dr. Loomis to perfection for over the years. But his portrayal of Dr. Loomis this time in this film was kind of crazy and insane. But that was when Dr. Loomis walked in and prevented something dumb, but saved Jamie Lloyd's life. And she was okay. As they thought it was just seizures and all that, I was like, dude, she's a kid. You have to make sure she's okay in the process. Then that was when Rachel showed up paying Jamie a visit, but then Rachel's friend came in with Jamie's new dog, Max, and a tough son of a gun. But yet Rachel was the final girl of the fourth film, and we were introduced to a new character named Tina. And I was like, what's this character supposed to be all about? Is this character supposed to be comedic or something? Or is she the next final girl? I don't know. But I had no idea what was going on throughout the film, but that was when Jamie was given her Halloween costume for the Halloween pageant that they were throwing. But Dr. Loomis walked in and realized the whole ordeal, but Rachel was very concerned for her sister, or in this case, her stepsister, due to the fact of what's going on these days. But then someone threw a rock in the window, and it was a threat from the town saying that the young little girl must die. Or in this case, the evil little girl must die. And I was like, excuse me? She's just a kid. She did nothing wrong. Leave her alone. She's been through too much after what happened last year. But anyways, that was when, throughout the film, we cut to Rachel. And yeah, I can't explain what she did throughout the film because, yeah, rules are rules. Anyways, we cut to Max barking in the backyard, and Michael Myers, on the other hand, I forgot to mention when we cut to Michael, we see a tattoo on the bottom of his wrist that looked like some kind of pirate ship of some sort, like a paper pirate ship, or some kind of paper hat. But I was like, what's that doing on his wrist? I didn't see that throughout the other films. Well, obviously, I think it's supposed to be the sign of Samhain, and for a good reason. But anyways, back to the part, that was where Max was barking at the back door where Michael was, and Jamie was having another seizure attack or some kind of panic attack. And she was deaf and couldn't say anything. That was where she was moving her hand, which showing the sign was the dog Max barking. But by the time the police were called, and I remember people talking about these two cops in the film, they were kind of like clowns. I was like, what are they? Doink the Clown and Bozo the Clown? What are they doing? But then I heard clown music in the background when these guys walked out, trying to make sure everything was okay and secured. And after hearing it, I was like, what the heck am I hearing? Is this supposed to be a scary movie, or is this supposed to be funny? What is going on? But I'm not kidding. If you looked back at the film, you'd hear clown music, and yet it was already crazy enough. But then that's when later on in the film we cut to Rachel trying to get ready while the family was out of town, leaving Rachel in charge of the house until Michael took out the final girl from the fourth film. But yet throughout the film, Tina again getting involved while a friend of hers came by and checked on the place. And that was where we were introduced to Tina's boyfriend. Yeah, this is no joke. There's another Michael. But this one is not Myers. It's a different one. And when we were introduced to him, he was like some kind of tough son of a gun that looked more like a dang darn biker than a dang darn guy in a mask. But I was like, what is this? Another Michael? But it was shocking enough that we got 2 Michaels in the film. But let's just say this version, this guy was basically trying to bring Tina around for their date and their Halloween party they're having at the barn. They were trying to get all the things they needed for the party, but however, Michael was hot on their trail, as usual, being the boogeyman that he is. But then that's where we were introduced at the bus stop of Haddonfield, Illinois, to a new character that never showed his face, but he had the same tattoo as Michael did. But when he stepped out of the bus, we saw what they like to be cowboy boots. And this mysterious cowboy, we have no idea who he is and when he first popped up and what his story was, what his role was in all of this. But anyways, we then cut back to Dr. Loomis heading into the Myers residence that looked nothing like the original Myers residence from the first film throughout the other films. But yet it looked a little different when I first saw it. I was like, what the heck are they doing? That looked nothing like Michael's house. It looked different, like a dang darn mansion. But anyways, throughout the film, that was where, as he was looking around, we see this cowboy again, and revealing the same tattoo that Michael Myers had at the bottom of his wrist. When Loomis kept looking around, he was scared of a mouse in the laundry chute. But to me, it was kind of funny, though. I don't think he ever saw it coming. But anyways, that's when we cut back to the other cast of characters for this film. That was where Michael was getting the stuff that he needed for the Halloween party with his friends, including his girlfriend Tina. But however, Michael showed up, scratched the guy's car, and then took them out what looked like to be with a gardening tool of some sort. But the poor guy didn't see it coming. The only thing I could say is Myers took out Michael, but that was embarrassing to say because, well, there were 2 Michaels in the film, so yeah, let's just say Myers took out Michael, just so that way it's easy. But anyways, throughout the film, that was where Tina got ready for the Halloween party. And when she thought it was her boyfriend, that was where I was stunned immediately throughout the film from what I was seeing. Michael Myers was trying to play the other Michael that he took out to be him and driving his car. And still, amazingly enough, I don't even know how Michael Myers was able to drive a car and get a driver's license. But however he did it, it's kind of shocking to me. But anyways, as they were driving around, but that was where Jamie and her friend Billy, which I think had a crush on her, gave her some kind of flowers as a gift, which left Jamie to kiss him on the cheek out of respect. And I think that was just so sweet of Billy to do something nice for Jamie for the Halloween pageant she was involved in with him. But throughout the film, it was kind of cool to see a lot of great moments in this, but none were compared to what happened when most precisely when Michael took off the mask that Tina left for her boyfriend Michael. Yeah, just so that way the odds are fair, just so it's not mixed up. But then that was where it led to bad to worse. Jamie was freaking out, having another seizure attack. They were trying to identify the place she was at. And that was where finally, they said something about a cookie shop of some sort, but some kind of store at a gas station. And the police showed up, and Tina was okay, but then Michael drove off. And that was where Jamie was finally speaking again when she said Tina's name. And she was worried about her. But then that was where, throughout the film, Dr. Loomis was getting more crazier by the minute. I was like, what the heck have they done to this character? Have they legitimately made him crazy? More dangerous in the films? Because I remember in the other films he was being strict and living up to the job as he always did. But he was Michael Myers' archenemy for a good reason throughout the franchise. But anyways, we then cut to where Tina went to a Halloween party. Jamie was trying to find Tina and make sure she was safe. Then throughout the party, it was at the barn, but Billy was right there with Jamie to find her. And then that's where the same cops that had the clown music in the beginning, in the other part of the film, I was like, they're there keeping an eye on Tina? My goodness. Then they thought it was actually Michael Myers trying to take out Tina, but it was actually their friend from earlier in the film. And that was where it led to bad to worse. They found kittens in the barn. But yeah, there are some parts in this film I do not wish to mention because, well, yeah, due to how things are these days, rules are rules. What can you do? Anyways, they found the kittens in the barn, and it led to where Tina got pranked, and her friend got pranked by the same guy. And yeah, like I said, I wish not to talk about it. Rules are rules. But anyways, throughout the time, Jamie was running to the barn with her friend Billy. But then that was where, yeah, Michael took out Tina's friends with a scythe. And from what I learned is that the actor who played Michael Myers in this film had a hands-on experience in the barn because he's been a farmer once before getting the part as Michael Myers, and I think it was ingenious of him to actually do this type of thing, but one way to go. Anyways, that was where after they were taken out by Michael Myers with the scythe, that was where he took out, yeah, let's just call them the clown cops. Yeah, they were taken out, but that was where Tina was looking for her friends, but then, yeah, let's just say she found them gone and taken out by Michael. But when she ran to the cops for help, they were already taken out already. But then Jamie made it, and Michael was driving the car to take out Jamie Lloyd and her friend Billy, but however, it did not go too well because let's just say the car got destroyed in the process, and Tina was taken out by Michael Myers in the process. Both Billy and Jamie were okay, but then Dr. Loomis did point out to Jamie on why it had to be done. But after what Michael Myers did to Tina, Jamie wanted to make sure that he was done for and taken out for good. But however, Dr. Loomis did propose to Michael that they meet up back to where it all started, which was Michael's home. Then we cut to the Myers residence and then setting a bait for Michael Myers to take him out, to capture him once and for all. And yet, that did not go too well after what happened at the clinic, of half of everyone taken out when Jamie pointed out to what happened to poor Billy. And that was where they headed out there, leaving Dr. Loomis and another cop, like that two of them, to watch over Jamie Lloyd. But then that was where, yeah, Michael took out the first one outside in another cop car to blend in. Well, Dr. Loomis destroyed the radio. And he tried negotiating with Michael, and I had no idea what that was all about. But then Michael tried to take out Dr. Loomis, but then the cop tried to help Jamie out of the place. But however, Michael overheard it and went after them and took out the other cop while Jamie was running for her life, trying to get somewhere safe away from her uncle. But however, she tried using the laundry chute, and yeah. Before we continue on with this review, let's just say the fact is, in this scene, there was a real stunt performed in this, and that was extremely dangerous. By what I found out was the director had the idea of the actor playing Michael Myers to use a real knife, while the actress playing Jamie Lloyd was trying to escape and nearly got hurt, the poor girl, but I was glad to see that she was okay throughout the film. But anyways, that was where it was revealed that Jamie Lloyd was trying to hide in the laundry chute to be avoid seen by her uncle. But Michael caught wind of it, and she slid down to the basement. And that was where, as I mentioned, yeah, Michael tried to get into the laundry chute, but it was sealed off tight. He tried using his chef's knife to break through the whole ordeal, but couldn't get in. But then he tried stabbing his way through the laundry chute to take out Jamie Lloyd, but missed every turn he had. But that was until Jamie Lloyd did something I thought I'd never see, using the tip of the knife as a spring to jump up to the laundry chute to get to the top. By the time she got up there, she ran upstairs to find her dog Max taken out by her uncle, including the other Michael, and of course the final girl from the fourth film, her sister-in-law, Rachel. And yet, I felt bad for the poor girl. But when Michael walked in, he was about to take out Jamie Lloyd until she said, "Uncle? Boogeyman? Let me see." That was where I noticed that Michael stopped for the first time and took off his mask. And she realized that he was just like her. And she saw a tear in his eye. And that was where she said, "Let me." But she was trying to give her uncle a warm embrace, but it made him even more mad and refused. He tried to take out Jamie again, but she ran downstairs with a surviving Dr. Loomis grabbing her, and then bringing Michael all the way downstairs until he walked right into a trap, which was a chain net. He tried taking him out with tranquilizers, nothing. Then he tried to grab a wooded plank to try to take out Michael. But however, throughout the scene I was like, what is this, a hardcore match with a 2x4? But I was stunned to see how the performance went. Then in the end, Michael Myers was arrested and brought to jail and was ready to be transferred maximum security. But as Jamie was about to leave with the cops back to the clinic, but however, that's when we were introduced to the cowboy again, taking out every cop in Haddonfield in sight, helping Michael Myers escape. Well, and the cop told her to wait there, but she immediately ran in to try to see what was going on. But by the time she got there, it was too late. Michael Myers escaped, and all the cops of Haddonfield, Illinois were taken out by the mysterious cowboy. And she was saying no at the end of the film. But deep down in my mind, after seeing this film once again, it brought back some memories. I remember watching it when I was young, when they were doing the Halloween marathon at the time back then, when growing up in a small town. But deep down in my mind, I think this was a great film, and due to some dangerous stunts involved, I gotta admit, I was glad enough to see the actors okay, along with the actress playing Jamie safe and okay afterwards. And the only thing I can do is give this film a solid 8 out of 10. Because due to the fact and how this film was, it was good, but all I think I could say is tone down the funniness and make sure that your actors and actresses are safe. And make sure that no one gets hurt during production. That's dangerous. Those are the only advices I can give when it comes down to making films like this. But anyways, that about wraps it up for this edition of A Halloween Nightmare on Friday the 13th, and the final video for 2025. And man, I want to thank you all so much for this amazing journey throughout this year. It was a lot of fun. The only thing I could say is 2026 is going to be the best one yet. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, give this video a big thumbs up, turn on post notifications, so you guys at home do not miss another amazing more content like this. And thank you all so much for watching. And be sure to tell my friends I said, "What's up?" and Happy New Year's Eve.